Welcome to Art Gallery Explorer, the vlog which explores and celebrates the London art scene. Now, when you think of David Hockney, you probably think of works like this, or this. Certainly not works like this. Did you even know that was David Hockney? Yeah, this was a work produced by David Hockney during the period when he studied at the Royal College of Art here in London. And I'm here today at Hazlitt Holland-Hibbert on Bury Street, just in St James's, to explore what sounds like a really interesting show, focusing on Hockney's years between 1959 and 1963 when he relocated to America. London was beginning to swing at the time, and Hockney was at the heart of it. And he was really, I think, from the works I've seen before of this period, finding his voice. This show, which is on until the 18th of July, is free, and it promises a really rare opportunity to just focus on Hockney, the art student, as he found his voice. I'm not going to narrate this. I'm just going to bring you every single work in the show so you can explore the early Hockney. He's obviously having a massive exhibition in Paris at the moment. This one promises to be more intimate, so come and join us as we head inside. Well, I hope you enjoyed In the Mood for Love, Hockney in London, 1960 to 1963. I really want to thank Hazlitt Holland-Hibbert for putting on a museum quality show and for allowing me to share these works. I know some of you will say that David Hockney is overexposed on the London art scene and has been for the last decade or so, but this genuinely does bring new insight and brings together lots of works that have not been seen before in London. So I thought it was a really worthwhile experience and I enjoyed it hugely. I think of these shows in terms of the good, the bad and the beautiful. So if we start with the good, there were several things which really enthralled me in this exhibition. The most obvious, but I think powerful one, was seeing an artist who goes on to become probably Britain's most beloved contemporary artist, finding his voice. That you can see the influence of the dominant art form of the time, abstract expressionism. You can see the influence of artists like Jasper Johns and Francis Bacon and others in these works. And there's a tremendous energy to the scrawls and the dabs and the sort of ferocity with which he paints as an art school student. These are very different works to the serenity of the works from California in the late 60s and onwards. And yet it was absolutely fascinating to see him develop. There was a clear journey from much more abstract works to a kind of reconciliation with figuration in Gallery Space 4, which brought us closer, but not totally close to, the David Hockney of fame. And he, it's important to remember that over the 3 years that these works were pulled from, he went from being an unknown art student to someone who was creating a big buzz on the London art scene. So I really enjoyed that. I love the energy. I love the ferocity. I love seeing the influences that he was clearly absorbing as he worked towards finding his own style. Secondly, I really enjoyed the fact that many of these works had not been seen in public before. Some of them I had seen in exhibitions, but some of them have been brought together from private collections. These were works that were obviously sold early and often cheap. The exhibition says they're sort of £12, £5 for a David Hockney. And so lots of these works have gone from private collection to private collection without entering museums. So it's lovely to see that. And there were some nice combinations. The 3 paintings on the theme of hypnotism, for example, work really well together. They relate to a bigger picture which is in the Hockney show at the Maison Louis Vuitton in Paris, which I hope to bring you, but it probably won't be till late in August. But together these works show us how this bigger work develops. So I really enjoyed that, and it's worth mentioning that this show is curated by the grandson of Hockney's original art dealer from the Royal College of Art days. So there's a nice personal link as well. In terms of the bad, obviously these works are not all great works of art. Some of them could be called derivative, as he found his voice and was clearly being influenced by art movements and artists. But I did find them overall interesting enough and strong enough to be worth viewing on their own. And that's without the kind of art history link which makes this show really powerful. So I did enjoy that, but it's not like every single piece is a Hockney masterpiece. In terms of the beautiful, I absolutely loved actually this work aesthetically. It's called We Two Boys Together Clinging from 1961. I love the chaos of it, which is kind of typical of lots of the works in this show, but also it's really important because it explored the theme of Hockney's own sexuality at a time when homosexuality was illegal. And obviously as a young man, there's a tremendous erotic sexual charge to lots of these works, not just in the titles, but in the painting as well. I loved it because what it stood for, as Hockney was finding his feet both as a person and as an artist. It's definitely the one I would like on my wall. But comment below in the comments what you think about this show and which your favourite work of art was. I always love reading your comments. The show is on until the 18th of July. It's fantastic. It's what I call a kind of treat show in London where you can pop along to a free private gallery putting on a museum quality show. And it's definitely worth it if you're a Hockney fan, especially. Thank you ever so much for watching. Do stay tuned for some more shows. I'm going to be heading out into Southeast England to a few galleries over the next weeks to spread my wings a bit, but also we'll be bringing you some of the choicest exhibitions from London as well. Thank you ever so much for watching.